Here's a detailed story based on The Secret Garden of Wishes. The Secret Garden of Wishes. Hidden deep in the hills beyond the bustling town of Meadowbrook, there was a tale whispered among the elders, a secret garden where wishes came true. Children often sat wide-eyed as their grandparents recounted the story of the garden's magic. It was said that the garden could only be found by someone who truly believed in the power of their dreams. 12-year-old Clara had heard the tale countless times. Ever since her parents passed away in an accident 2 years ago, she'd clung to stories of magic and hope. Clara lived with her Aunt Louise, a practical woman who had little patience for fairy tales. But Clara, with her wild curls and endless curiosity, believed. She always had. One summer morning, while helping her aunt organize the attic, Clara found an old, dusty book titled The Garden of Wishes. Its pages were brittle, but its illustrations were vivid, showing lush trees, flowers glowing with light, and a fountain with sparkling water. At the bottom of the page, a single sentence was written. The garden lies where the heart is truest. Clara's heart raced. Could the garden be real? Was this the clue she needed to find it? That evening, as the golden sunlight faded and the crickets began their song, Clara slipped out of the house with the book tucked under her arm. She followed the map drawn on one of the pages, which led her toward the hills outside of town. The path was overgrown and wild, but Clara pushed forward. She climbed over roots, crossed a bubbling stream, and ducked under low-hanging branches. The deeper she went, the quieter the world became, until all she could hear was the sound of her own footsteps and the occasional rustle of leaves. Hours passed, and just as Clara began to doubt herself, she noticed something unusual. The air smelled sweeter, like a mix of honeysuckle and fresh rain. The trees seemed taller, their leaves shimmering faintly. And then she saw it, a weathered archway covered in ivy. Her heart pounding, Clara stepped through the arch. On the other side was a garden unlike anything she had ever imagined. The flowers were unlike those she'd seen in books. Some glowed softly, others sparkled like diamonds in the sunlight. The trees bore fruit of every color, and in the center of the garden stood a fountain. Its water shimmered as if filled with stardust. Clara approached the fountain, her breath caught in her chest. Inscribed around its edge were the words, "Speak your wish, but let your heart guide you." Her mind raced. She could wish for anything: riches, popularity, even for her parents to return. But as she looked around the garden, she realized something. This place wasn't just about getting what you wanted, it was about understanding what truly mattered. Clara closed her eyes, her hands trembling as she placed them on the fountain's edge. "I wish," she began, her voice barely a whisper, "I wish for a way to